All right. Well, we are so excited to have JeJuan Stewart on the call. She is the CEO of Eagle 7. She is a parent coach. She's an author. She's a lead facilitator. And I think as business owners, sometimes we can get so focused on our business and what we're doing, and we don't necessarily have, get our own leadership development training, right? So I want us to be intentional about, because we are CEOs, but we're also leaders of organizations. And sometimes we need those refreshers to fine tune our leadership skills. And so I'm very excited to have JeJuan Stewart on the call just to give us our own little leadership refresh, and then also to talk about some things that are happening within her organization. So JeJuan, I'm going to turn it over to you. And I have your slides. Do you want me to start sharing? Okay.
Yes. Can you control that for me? Would you mind?
And of course.
Thank you so much. And thanks for that great introduction. Am I on? I hear an echo. Is that okay? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. I don't hear it on my end. Yeah,
perfect.
So we're good.
Okay. Well, thank you so much again. And again, my name is JeJuan Stewart. I am the CEO and lead consultant for Eagle 7 Consulting, a boutique consulting firm specializing in servant leadership principles for personal and professional development and training. And what that means for me is that I really love to connect the dots and inspire others to lead, and lead with purpose and integrity and passion. We provide individual and group resources through our subscription membership model, and I can talk to you more about that after my presentation. But just like Michelle was saying, and you can go to the next slide, we do have a tendency as owners and as CEOs of our own organizations to pour so much into what we do outside. We do not really take the time to assess what we are doing inside. And when I talk about that, I'd like to first ask each one of you on this call now, how many of you see yourselves as leaders? How many of you see leadership potential in what you do and who you are? From this slide, you can see different types of leadership styles. As I alluded to earlier, my focus is on servant leadership. But you may find one here that speaks to you, or one that may stand out to you. And if you take a time right now and just put that in the chat, which one speaks to you and as your leadership style? I would love to know. Servant leadership, I see. Anyone else? Servant leadership, okay. Democratic leadership, all right. I like that. Democratic, good, good. Excellent. Collaborative, good. Transformational, all right, all right. A collab between servant and coach. I understand, that's kind of like I feel too. Very good. Well, we're going to go to the next slide, and I'm going to be explaining and sharing some things with you, because I believe there's a room for us. Transformational. Thank you, Joyce, for that. I believe there's room for us to be able to not just be locked into a particular style of leadership, but we can learn how to incorporate and weave in different styles of leadership to who we are as to where our needs are. So what I'm saying from you is you need to learn how to lead from the inside out. And what that means is you're going to develop as an impactful leader. And being impactful in your leadership is what your ultimate goal is what is my impact? What leadership style is going to help me to get the results that I need at a given time? What I like for you to know is that leadership is not always about being in charge, but it's about knowing yourself well enough to determine when, how, and where your leadership is going to make a difference. As a servant leader for myself personally, leading with the heart first, because I want to serve first, helps me to identify how, where, and when I lead. Sometimes leadership can take place in different areas and different forms, and we'll talk about that. Next slide. So as you described to me your leadership styles that you are drawn to, I'd like for you to put in the chat your why. Why do you lead? Why do you lead? It could be why you own your business. It could be why you see yourself as a leader. It could be even why maybe you don't see yourself as a leader. Maybe someone else you prefer to lead. But why do you lead, or why should you lead? I know that I lead because I am a legacy builder. I lead with intentionality because I know that I'm not going to be here forever, and I want to leave this place better than I found it. I want to lead with intentionality and with purpose. I see one here. I lead to empower and transform. I love that. I have always enjoyed helping others to thrive. They're very good. I lead to transform the lives of others. Those are great examples and reasons why impact leadership had and has on me indicates the importance of doing for someone what was done for me. I love that. I love that. So it's leading from behind, but also leading going forward. I think that's so important. Helping others to increase wealth and end poverty. That's so important. I think financial literacy and other areas that can tie into that are important for us as leaders of organizations and businesses that we have, to help others realize their strengths and contributions in common good. Very good. So keep letting those come in, and you can go to the next slide. Understanding your why, as you will find out in business, that's the first question they ask you. What is your why? Why do you want to start this business? Why do you want the same thing with us in leadership? Why do we lead sets the ground rules for who we are and what our intentionality is and our purpose. And it also grounds us when we get struggle with situations and things don't go well. We can go back to our why, and we can identify how to stay in this game and how to continue leading with purpose. When I say impactful leadership, these are the things that I am speaking to and speaking of specifically. And others may have different ways to approach it. But from my vantage point, this is the thing that I'm doing. And I'm going to be doing some hand motions because I want you to remember this. And when we apply it to ourselves, sometimes doing hand motions helps us. So for me, and what I'm sharing with you today is impactful leadership journey is one that starts inward first. Follow me. Inward, inward, outward, and onward. You got that? Inward, outward, and onward. And you may say, well, why is that so important? It's important because you need to start with yourself first. Before you can lead others, you need to know why you're leading yourself. What is the purpose? Why are you inspired to lead? What breathes life into you as a leader? How do you cultivate your leadership skills? What are you doing for yourself to get to that next point in your leadership journey? One way that you approach that, or can be, is to do a personal assessment. And the personal assessment I will share with you in just a moment. The second part of this is outward. Outward signifies your influence. Who are you impacting, or what is your leadership inspiring? Who are you inspiring? Where's your influence at right now as a leader? And do you need to expand it? Maybe you've been doing this thing in this model for so long that you need to start looking at things a little differently. It might require you to take a class on leadership development. What? Yes. I mean, I had my dear daughter sign me up for a class on, it's called Creative Leadership in January. She said, Mom, I saw this class and I thought of you. And I thought, this could help you. And I thought, do I look like I need help? And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Let's take this class and explore. So yes, it got me out of my comfort zone. Yes, it was not exactly what I had planned to do with some of my time. But you know what? The investment was made on my behalf. And I was able to expand my influence by being a part of that journey in that class with other leaders that were growing. And I learned new skills and I learned things about myself that I didn't know. So as a leader, we have to be willing to step out. Sometimes leadership, it takes in the outward, it takes time to really get to that place where you can expand like that. And I have this diagram here of bamboo trees for a reason, intentionally. Because if you know anything about the bamboo plant, when you have a bamboo plant, it takes up to 8 years before it starts to shoot off and to grow. There's a lot that goes on under the ground that is not seen until much later. And the same thing with us as we're growing our businesses, I was growing personally as leaders. We may not see the fruit of that right away, but we know that we are setting and we're building really strong roots. So I just want to encourage you with that. And then the last one for onward has to do with your impact. And your impact, really only you can speak to that as a person who's developing their skill set, who's really wanting to make a difference in your communities, as you've already expressed this, who wants to make an impact. You have to know what that is for yourself and you have to develop that out and it will change. Don't feel like you're locked into a mold. Your impact, I like to say my impact is not just for those coming behind me, but I want to impact the generation that I'm reaching right now, the people that are right next to me, that are the closest to me, which for me as a mother, as a grandmother, are my family, my children, my grandchildren. I want to make sure that I'm leading with impact for them as I'm moving forward. Next slide. So as I said, when it comes to your personal assessment, you might want to write this down or you can share the slide with them if you'd like, Michelle. But I'd like for you to do a personal assessment for yourself. And you just to write down for yourself, maybe one or two things that fit in these molds. Your spark, what stimulates your interest as a leader, your strengths as a leader, your supports, and your struggles. Write those things down and put it on the side of where I am right now. Then I want you to look at this side and see where you need to fill the gaps so you can get to there. So as you're moving forward this year, you can start to assess yourself and say, am I moving towards my goal? Am I moving forward in this area of leadership development for myself so I can be in a position to pour out into others? I am not going to be able to finish all of this because I don't want to take up all your time, but I do want you to know that this is just a taste of what you can have access to if you choose to be a part of what I'm doing for this year. We have a lot of opportunities for you to plug into as leaders individually, as a parent. Like she said, I'm a parent coach, so I put a lot of emphasis on really supporting our journey for our parents. And I also lead students. I develop leadership skills in students as well, because I feel like it's important they can identify who they are as young leaders today. So thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you've learned something.
Awesome. Thank you so much, JeJuan. And it is always great to have a refresher. Every time I hear a presentation on leadership, there's always nuggets that I take away to apply to my own journey. So thank you so much for sharing. And again, you can screenshot that assessment so that way you can really take time to dig deeper into your own leadership journey. And I know that you have, as we wrap up your segment, you do have something coming up. There we go. Something coming up in July for our parents. And I want to give you just maybe a minute to share what you have going on, and we'll make sure we put that information in the chat as well.
No problem at all. Yes, Empowered Parent Experience is really focused on providing a safe space for parents to develop community and connections and to establish what it is they need to be able to parent better. What I say, parent with excellence, because it's no perfect parent out there. We're all just trying to do the best that we can with the tools that we have. And sometimes those tools work, sometimes they don't. So we're going to come together and we're going to flesh these things out together in a fun environment, outside of home, outside of children, inside of connecting with each other. We're going to have a comedy show on Friday night. We're going to have networking Friday. We're going to do a rest and relaxation in the afternoon on Saturday, where I have people coming in to really service you as a parent and support you. So if you are a business owner that really caters to parents or have some tools and resources, call me, let me know. We could love to have you be a sponsor. If you are a person who has a group of parents that is your tribe and you connect with and you say, hey, we need to do something together, this might be the place that you would want to be to learn more. So feel free to reach out to me. All my information is on there, and you can reach out to me directly too.
There we go. And I know we have that information shared in the chat.
Yes.
So please, for all of the parents, take advantage of this opportunity. I think she has a special going on through the, I think next
30th.
week or
Mm-hmm.
the 30th. Okay.
30th. So I extended it. Yeah, through the 30th.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
So that information is in the chat. So please, if you have a parent, if you are a parent, if you know a parent who can benefit from this, please have them sign up and take advantage of the special that happens by the end of the month. And this is going to be an intimate session. So it's going to be a small group.
Yes.
So if you are interested, please take advantage now and do not wait until the last minute.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Of course. And thank you. And a great session. And we definitely appreciate